Hey Jay, what you doing? Standing out here in the snow. It's beautiful. I think this is the nicest snow I've seen of the year. It's just one of those nice, fluffy, airy, just real nice snows. I don't know if you guys can see it good. But anyway, I'm making a video today. What am I doing? I'm back at the daily vlog. This will be my second one. I haven't been doing it daily because my life's pretty boring and none of my content has a story. It's just me doing stuff, and that's kind of lame. So I got busy working on some of the stuff from Ethiopia. It's been awesome. It's been fun reliving the memories and putting that stuff together. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, you know, trying to tell a story in that way. So today, do I have a story? Well, kinda, not really. I'm going to get my locks done. Going to get my hair did. My loctician lives down in Battle Creek, Natty Dreads. Awesome woman. She's from Germany. She's had her locks for about 8 years now, going on. And yeah, she's super cool. I'm excited to see her. I haven't seen her in like 4 months. So these guys really need some work. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Wipe that lens off. Turn this radio down. So yeah, I'm driving in a snowstorm and I was thinking about something. I was thinking about a video I put out the other day. And I wanted to talk about communication. I have a degree in communication. My background in the military and special forces. We do a lot of communicating. We meet with people in different countries, different cultures, and it's imperative that we're able to communicate with them, even if we don't speak the same language or a lot of the same language. Communication is a really important thing. While I was in, I went to a ton of different training that I attribute to my communication skills. Some of them are even interview and interrogation courses, where you learn about psychology and how to connect to people, different ways to connect to people. There's a whole bunch of other classified and unclassified training that I've been to. And I want to talk about the scene from my trip to Ethiopia, where I'm sitting with a gentleman drinking coffee. Now that entire conversation was already pre-planned in my head. It wasn't planned out verbatim, word for word, but I knew what my intent was, what my intent always is when I go someplace new and meet new people. As soon as I get on the ground, one of the first things that I do is I start to make allies. All right, make allies everywhere. Especially if you're alone and in an unfamiliar place with unfamiliar people, develop a network as soon as you can. And that's just, I think, a natural thing to do. Like, don't be an asshole. Talk to people. Be on their level. Being on their level doesn't mean that you go up or you go down. It's sideways. It's dynamic. And one of the first things that you want to do, or that I like to do, when I start communicating with someone new, to break the ice, to make things easy, is find a common ground. And one of the things that I did, that I saw the opportunity for in this situation in the coffee shop, was food. As I was sitting down, I set the camera on the table that's used to eat injera normally. And so as I was sitting down and putting the camera down, I heard him say, "Oh, look, you know, joking around, there's our injera, it's a camera." And that's when I took the opportunity to say, "Hey, I eat injera," and say it in their language. Because that did two things for me. One, it let them know that, hey, yeah, I can speak your language a little bit. There's something we have in common already. And then I continued to go on, and two, we both eat injera. And then I continued to go on to name other foods that I eat, or at least things that I could name, knowing he'd probably eat the same thing. And you know, I think I said, yeah, I eat injera, which is a starch. So then I went on to bread. I'm like, cool, I got that down. Sorry guys, I'm driving the snowstorm and I'm in Michigan. And sometimes cars don't stop when they're supposed to. So then I started going down a list of other foods that I knew. You know, chicken, beef, lamb, goat, yada yada yada. And while I was doing that, this guy's idea of me, impression of me, probably changed. He saw this 6.5 foot tall Caucasian man, 250 pounds, with dreadlocks, just sit down in the middle of your small town. I'm a little familiar with this town, and I do know for a fact that I am the only Caucasian white person that some of these people have ever seen, ever in their life. They haven't had electricity for very long. They don't have television. I mean, sure, they have an idea, yeah. They've been somewhere where there's been television, yes, they've seen it on TV. But in person, I probably still am, the only white person they've ever seen. So that puts natural boundaries up for people. Alright, it's something they're unfamiliar with, and unfamiliar with something, there's fear. So I immediately go to things that are going to reduce fear and bring me to their level. Find that common topic, the common subject, that thing in common that we have. And I went with food. Everybody eats. So as I was going through, making him aware that, yeah, I know I can speak simple words, and that, all right, cool, we're both talking about food. Then I wanted to take it one step further and make it even more personal, and I happened to hear him mention khat. So that's when I kind of let the conversation go in that direction, because one, I know that khat is kind of specific to Ethiopia and that part of the world. Two, I know that the Wollo tribe in the Wollo area takes a lot of pride in the khat that comes from there. They're famous for their khat that comes from their area. So by letting the conversation go that direction into something that they take pride into and compliment it, just brought me closer to that person. And then the last thing that I did in this video, in the conversation, was when I was talking about my tattoo. One, I clarified what it was, and two, I talked about how it was done with a needle. I didn't explain a tattoo gun or anything like that, but that it was done with a needle, much like the tattoos are done there. It's done in an old-fashioned way. I think they mix breast milk and ash together to fabricate the ink. But anyway, by saying, that it was done by a needle, and then kind of finishing off with a joke about how, it took a lot of time, and it, there was a lot of pain, I did two things. One, I added value now to something, and that's time. Time is valuable to everyone, whether you're rich or poor. Time holds a weight, it holds value. So I was able to assign value to something, and then additionally I added pain. That I'm human, it hurt, yeah. I'm not gonna just say I got stabbed with a needle for a very long time, say it didn't hurt. So that also communicates that like a lot of people, like everyone, most of us have endured pain for a long period of time. So that I communicated, that I've endured pain as well. I mean, it's a small example, but it brings that human element to things, and this gives the perception of me more as a human, a fellow human being who's in a subgroup, belongs to a subculture that's the same and finds value in the same things as that person. Just really, it takes it, from just being a stranger in a strange land, something to be avoided, to, hey, this is someone who has something in common with me. Oh, they've been hurt before. It brings you down to a human level. And one of the things that I'm horrible at, that will help out a lot with communicating internationally, believe it or not, is football. Not American football, I'm talking about soccer, international football. I found that it's a universal language. Every country in the world follows football. Americans are getting better about it, but that's just something to think about when you're traveling. If you meet someone in a different country, bring up football. They'll always talk about football. But yeah, hey, I got my dreads done. They're a little crunchy. Give them like a week or two and they'll soften up. And yeah, hey, thanks for listening to me talk, and I'll catch you guys later.
Okay, now. Too nice. Selfie mode.